Lost today 3-1 to the Kansas City Royals in the first game of a 3-game set. Today was a pretty rough game all around to watch. The first run they scored was really frustrating, as well as the second and third, so we'll get into those in a minute. But first thing we can do here is go through the lineup. We had Baddoo leading off. He went 0 for 3 today, and then he got pinch hit for in the 8th because a lefty came in. But Baddoo had some good swings today. His first swing it got hit really far, and it got tracked down and right. So he had a really nice swing the first time, then he had a pop-up and a ground out. So I feel like he should have stayed in. He's kind of proven he can hit lefties, and Daz Cameron just was not catching up to the fastball. So that was just not a smart pinch hit. I don't think Daz Cameron is veteran enough to be coming off the bench and pinch hitting. He just looked awful out there. I don't think he touched the ball once. I'm pretty sure he swung and missed 3 times. So just not a great pinch hit. I could definitely see why, because he wanted the lefty on righty matchup. But I think even though Baddoo's splits are pretty bad against lefties, he comes in clutch a lot more than Daz, and he came in clutch against lefty hitter or lefty pitchers multiple times this year when we had runners in scoring position. So a weird substitution there. I definitely would have stuck with Baddoo. We can get into Scope, though. 1 for 3 on the day, and he also got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. I thought that was pretty scummy. I don't want to say it was intentional, but it was a 3-2 count, and he was just fouling off every single pitch. I think it was like a 12-pitch at-bat, if I counted right. I was at the game, so I couldn't really see it on TV. And then he just hit him with the final pitch and really high up. So I don't know if he just misfired or if he was just annoyed. He was fouling every pitch off and he knew he was going to walk him. So he just said, hey, let me hit him. But I won't assume that. But Grossman here 0 for 1 with 3 walks. Great game today. You can't really blame him for anything. The only thing I can knock is his fielding. Robbie Grossman is not a good outfielder. Even though he doesn't have many errors, he is just not good at tracking balls. He's not fast, and he has an absolute noodle for an arm. So our outfield today had no cannons in it. Baddoo, Victor, and Grossman all cannot throw from any part of the outfield to this home plate. So rough day fielding-wise for Grossman, but a great game at the plate. 3 walks is huge. Miggy for Miggy Appreciation Day. This was probably one of the tougher games for him this season. He grounded into 2 double plays, and man, were they frustrating, because one of them ended a rally in the 3rd, and in the 8th, we got a leadoff walk, and it looked like, hey, we were about to get on a run there. We had Miggy at bat, and we were only down 2, and then Miggy grounds into a double play, and that just kind of ended the game there. So really sucks he wasn't able to play well on his Appreciation Day, but I'm sure he'll have a bounce-back game tomorrow. Candelario here 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Pretty solid game today. He also had a flyout and a ground out, so he made some solid contact, and the 2 walks are always really helpful. Their pitchers were just not locating a lot of their pitches today, and the ump was pretty good. He was making you really throw strikes today. He wasn't really gifting many calls, so I thought the ump was pretty good today. Someone that was not good at all today is Harold Castro. I always advocate for him to play more consistently, and man, I may have just seen why he didn't today, because he was awful. The first at-bat we can get into, we had bases loaded, 2 outs, and we needed Hit and Harold to come through, because against a team like the Royals, for some reason, we don't score off them very much at home. So I knew if we didn't capitalize there with bases loaded, it was probably going to be a rough night. And Harold swung on the second pitch and popped it up after we walked 3 straight times. So I wish he would have been a little bit more patient in that at-bat, because the pitcher was not locating his pitches at all. He was really misfiring on almost everything, and maybe we could have got walked in a run. But Harold is just a little too over-aggressive at the plate, and he swings at almost anything that gets thrown to him. So that's something he really has to work on, and that may be one of the reasons why A.J. Hinch doesn't give him consistent playing time, because his swings are just ridiculous. He swings at pitches that aren't even close to the zone, and it's easy outs or it's easy swings and misses. So he's really got to fix his approach, at least swing-wise, but he's still a great player, and I'm hoping he plays again tomorrow, because he's a contact hitter, and that's what we need in this lineup. Eric Haas, he was one of my prediction players today, as well as Miggy. He had a walk and then the RBI single. Another really rough thing, he hit the RBI single in the 6th, and then he tried to go to second, and he tripped, going from first to second, and he got tagged, and that ended that rally and that inning. That was the only inning we mounted any sort of runs or anybody really past third base, so that was just really frustrating to see him fall. Nothing you can do, though. It wasn't his fault. He was just trying to be aggressive. Today we were overly aggressive, way too aggressive. This next person will show why. Nico Goodrum 1 for 4. He had a double in the 7th that he tried to stretch into a triple. Wasn't his fault at all, though. Ramon Santiago sent him from second to third after he saw the guy fumbling with the ball. It was one of the worst sends I've ever seen from a third base coach. I was at the game, so I kind of had a better angle to see like exactly where Nico was. He picked up the ball when Nico was like a foot off second base. Like he wasn't even close to third when the guy picked up the ball and was about to throw it. One of the worst sends to third, and that really killed us because we were down 1 run. We tied the game and we gave up a run, and then we got a leadoff double from Nico, and then he tried to stretch it into a triple, and then instead it was an out. So heartbreaking there. And then also just to rub salt in the wound, Victor Reyes hits a double right after him that would have scored him. But I mean, just really frustrating game overall. 2 for 4 for Reyes with a double and a single, so a great game from him today. Like I've been saying all this time, Victor Reyes deserves consistent playing time, and I'm not glad that Derek Hill's out, but it's really given Victor a way to show his talent out there. So we can get into the pitching today. I was really frustrated when Casey Mize came out after 3 innings. I didn't want to see him not go at least 5 today, but I mean, I guess I understand why. There's no point in pitching him if we're eliminated and really stressing his arm and risking an injury. So I only went 3 today, and that earned run was ridiculous. Both hits would have been outs if we weren't in the shift. They should have been hit right to players, but since we were shifting, trying to be too smart, they went right through the holes, and they got an easy run. Jose Urena, though, 2 really good innings. He kind of got screwed in his final inning. He was probably going to go 3 today if he didn't. Harold Castro also made a huge error on what should have been a double play, and it turned out to be no outs. He fielded it on a ground ball to second, and then he went to go tag second and throw to first, and he dropped the ball. He was going too quick today. I don't know what was up with him. It's just not like him. And that low-key kind of lost us the game because since Urena couldn't go 3, we had to stretch Lane for 2, and that's when Lane had troubles in that second inning. He gave up a triple in the second at-bat he had there, and then he couldn't get the out, and he gave up a single next to it. So he gave up that earned run, and then we were down again. So having Jose Urena not pitch 3 innings today, and he only didn't because of Harold Castro's error, kind of screwed us and screwed our bullpen because Lane doesn't usually go more than 1 inning, and he was forced to today because we needed some length out of somebody else in our bullpen. Funkhauser came in and shut down the inning. He got us out of it. That was really nice. Holland, he hasn't given up a run in September, and then today he gives up a run, so that was pretty frustrating. He gave up a triple and then a sac fly, so he gave up a lot of crappy hits today. But Joe Jimenez came in. He looked a little bad his first at-bat. He went down 3-0, but then he came back and struck him out, and then he struck out the next guy, and then he had a nice pop-up. So it's nice to see Joe back, and then, yeah, that's it for the game. Pretty rough watch today. I'm hoping tomorrow it's a lot better because this was bad, but we can get the series win still. There's 2 games left in it. I'm hoping we can beat the Royals since they are a division rival, and it's really embarrassing to get swept by your division rival. For some reason, we just can't beat this team when we're at home. But anyway, we'll be back for the pregame and postgame tomorrow.